Okay, hello. There we are. Uh, Good to have you here as a fly zooms by my head. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but only a minute or so. Uh, my name is Todd Rains. Welcome to my shop here in Allen, Texas. Along with my wife, run a wood-turning tool store. We do this live stream, or I do this live stream every second Friday, typically at 2:30 Friday afternoon. So welcome. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. And it's been a few last minute technical hiccups along with these flies that are bothering me. So I have to spray the shop. I brought some, as you may know, some new oak in a couple of weeks ago. I hope there's no nesting flies or bugs in that, but they look like little bottle flies, just regular house flies. So I'm not sure where they're coming from. We got about 3 or 4 in the shop here today. So if I start swatting like that, you know what's going on. We got some friends joining us. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining us. Brenda, thank you for joining. David Perez, as always, good to have you here from Oregon. Glenn, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Jean and Paul from across the pond. Thank you, Paul, for joining. Gerald, thank you for joining. Rodney, good to have you here. Thanks very much. Another across the pond, Ian Coates, yo, wood-turning dudes and dudettes. Sunny evening in Hertford, UK. Well done. All right, Michael from Illinois. Our friend Cindy saying hi to David. Thanks for joining, Cindy. And I do have Cindy in my ear in case it's needed. Actually, not really in my ear, on my speaker. So testing out some new tech here in the shop as always. Robert, good to have you here. Charles, ready to roll. Good. Hope I am. So perfect. Brian, thanks for joining. And there's Cindy saying hi to Shelly and me. So Dave, good to have you here. Bob, good to have you here as well. Let's see who else we got. Who did I miss? Dennis and Martha Wall, Mr. Oren, or Keith Hargrove, yep. James Carter from San Antonio, I believe. I can't remember now. James, I think that's right. Let's see. Lots of people joining. Appreciate everybody. And Mary Alice, thanks for joining in. So this is going to be and my friend Sammy up in North Carolina. Lots of other people joining in. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining. It's kind of a weird topic today. Not really weird, but it's something we should all talk about. And comfort and safety. Wrong way, Todd. In the shop. So if you've got some ideas to share with the group, please throw them in the chat. I'll bring them up on screen. We can talk about them as well. I'll show you a little bit of around my shop that kind of makes me comfortable in the close enough. James, thanks. I appreciate it. Close enough, comfortable in the shop, then we can talk about those. I've got a camera set up facing another way. Not a lot of turning today unless you request something. We can always put a little piece of wood on to show a technique or a tool or whatever it is. I'm open to that as well at any time. So this is called All Things Wood Turning. So any kind of what question you have, just let me know. So before we get to some of this stuff here, which will be kind of a shop tour and a little discussion on things that make you a little more comfortable. There's a reason I'm talking about this today, and we'll get to that in a second. But if you need to get a hold of me, as always, email is there, phone number is there, website woodturningtoolstore.com. Visit us and take a look around. If you have any questions, reach out, please, by all means. So. Then our friend Cindy Drozer, who's on usually, and has a live stream or a live event typically every second week, opposite of my week. So this week is my week. Next week is actually her week, but on her live stream Friday, we're doing a sharing session. So that's something to watch out for. The week after that, she's doing a demo on Banksia pods. Not sure exactly what it is yet. I think that's June 1st, I believe, right, Cindy? So there goes another fly. So sorry about that. So you go ahead and pop that in the chat there, Cindy, if you do have a link set up for that demo. But watch out for that. So here's our sharing session. It's going to be next week. And if I have my, do I have my stuff right? So first of all, there's Cindy. Sign up to her email, cindydrozer.com, to get notified when she goes online. You can sign up to her email to um, get informed about this sharing session. You can also, let's see, is it this one? God, I hope it's this one. It is this one. A QR code for my newsletter sign up. So if you're not on my newsletter, which maybe most of you are, I'm not quite sure, go ahead and scan that. It'll take you right to the newsletter sign up. The Zoom meeting for this sharing session will be sent out to our email list. So any and all woodturners that have that can join. So that's the way that's going to happen. So that's going to be next Friday, May 24th. Do I have that? There it is. Yes. May 24th. Take that off. Sharing session. Get the Zoom link and the invite. So, or join the newsletter to get the Zoom link invite. So either one of us, Cindy's or mine, will get you there. So let's see. Oh, that's over here. So yeah, this is note on Cindy's demo. I think June 1st. Is that correct, Cindy? I have to check your chat here. So, but that's coming up. So, but tomorrow is my demo on I call it several simple spindle turnings. It's really kind of easy projects, small projects that get your juices flowing in terms of turning. If you only turn maybe a couple times a week or once a week, if you're a hobby turner, then sometimes you get to lathe and you kind of go, oh, I want to do this project, but so start small, do something small, and get your muscle memory fixed and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what tomorrow is about. It's also doing the 5 projects in the 3-ish hours or so. So that's kind of where we're at here. And let me pull up. Let's see where to go. There's Tony has joined. Thank you for joining, Tony. I know it's difficult for you and a lot of you guys working still at working hours. So appreciate that. Get a link to the sharing session on Cindy's sign up or my sign up in newsletters, and that will be good to go. And then here she's got, go to cindydrozer.com for signing up soon. Doesn't have it signed up yet, but her Banksia Pod, turning Banksia Pods class. So, but as I said, tomorrow, do I have that banner? Let's just float around there. I do. Kind of says everything that says on here, but this might be easier to read. Tomorrow at noon time. So this is May 18th. This is 17th today. At 12 noon Central, so 1 Eastern. Figure your time zone out from there. I think UTC is 1700. I want to say so. About that time in the evening overseas. So hopefully that works, and we will turn these 3 things: honey dipper, scoop, shot glass, this punch pommel, and if I get my fat head out of the way, bud vase. So that should take about 3 hours, maybe a little longer, depending how verbose I get. Along the way, we're going to talk about tool usage a little bit. We'll start off with safety and some of the comfort things around you to build your confidence and release some anxiety about turning. And these small projects help do that. They do for me, for sure. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this. I know there's a lot of, turners that maybe turn once, twice a week. And you get out in the shop, you kind of, forget your muscle memory after a week's worth of work. And you kind of, a little nervous or have some little timid or trepidation around the lathe and stuff. So trying to get over that with small projects, these easy ones to do, give you that sort of confidence, as well as give you ideas for larger versions of these things. So, a shot glass can turn into a wine goblet, the bud vase into a candlestick, if I can point the right way. The scoop into a goblet or some other thing, and the honey dipper maybe you're making baseball bats, or who knows what you're making. So those kind of things help you kind of build that confidence. So that's tomorrow. So I think that is it. Let me go to overhead shot. Yeah, I got my phone and my focus card there. There's not a whole lot else to kind of show here today. I'm going to be taking a look at your comments as well along the way. So, Jerry, hello. Good to have you here. Thank you. Let's see. Charlie's here. Thank you for joining, Charlie. Appreciate it. And yeah, 1700 UTC is 12 noon Central. Perfect. Thank you. So around me, and this is kind of weird with that kind of view, so I'm going to change the view to maybe tailstock and a little wide. Oops, wrong way. Wider out. And take me off here. So this is kind of the shot of the end of my lathe and where I'm at. One thing I do, or I have done, I used to have a Powermatic. In fact, the Powermatic's over there. It's for sale if anyone wants to buy a Powermatic. If they're in the area, North Texas area, please come by and take a look. Reach out to me if you need a new lathe. The Powermatic I had was a little short, right? So, and I'm sorry, this camera is kind of a little low angle. I'm here, but when I set it up, the Powermatic was sitting at a lathe height, spindle height down here, right? And so I always had to kind of bend over just a little bit to work. When I got this robust, it's able to raise up high enough. In fact, I think I'm at the tallest point of the legs, although they can custom make taller legs for you if you're taller. But I've set it up to where it's above my elbow height. This is typically what people would suggest as a spindle height, is at your elbow. I went a couple inches, 2.5 inches above that. I find it much more comfortable for me here. I am not bending my back to, let's see. Let me just, I'm not sort of bending my back over so much to kind of get that at that lathe. I'm now at a comfortable height where I'm turning with my shoulders kind of, sometimes they're hunched up a little bit if I need to go a little bit, but normally they're just hanging. So that's a comfort factor. One of the other things that somebody had shown on a, I don't know where I saw the video. I think it was a YouTube video or some other video I saw some on a company website or something like that. And this person had a benchtop lathe on a bench, but it was set back the bench a good, 6 inches, 8 inches in from the bench. So this is as close as they could get to the bench. And so they're reaching the spindle and working on the tool. Oops, didn't want to do that one. On the tool rest in there. So they're reaching over, working with a tool, reaching out this far. They can't belly up to the lathe. So that is important. So if you are going to put it on a bench, put it right on the edge of the bench as you can, and leave yourself a toe kick. So if you look underneath any sort of lathe, you've got room underneath, and it's kind of dark down there. But I could lighten that up a little bit. Let me play with tech while I can. So there is the room that I can get right up close to the lathe, and so that's important to me. This lathe has these legs that splay out a bit further than my Powermatic, so I do have some problems with my feet banging there a little bit, but I just put my foot on the other side. So and I wear comfortable shoes. These are actually slippers, believe it or not. And I am standing on this red mat. It's one of these really heavy duty foam kitchen sort of mats. And I cut it out to fit around the legs. So it goes in far enough past the legs. You can see here they're cut out to where I can stand here comfortably, and it's nice and soft. There's nothing worse than standing on concrete for a couple hours and in one place sort of thing, and having some sore feet afterwards. So, okay, we've got, I'm just checking chat. Sorry, there's Robert has a question on carbide tools versus high speed steel. So we can talk about that. I'm just going to star that, which means I'm going to just highlight it for later, and we'll catch up on that in a little bit. So, and all right, so I got to take that off. Sorry about that. So those are some of the things I think about having the lathe right in front of me. The other thing that this Powermatic has, or sorry, not Powermatic, Robust has, is this control box that can move. To be honest, I haven't used it a whole lot yet, but I know when I go down and stand off the end of the lathe, I'm going to move it down here. I've moved it a few times down here, but so that's very handy. Didn't have that in my Powermatic. So comfort things, if your lathe doesn't offer these kind of features that are comfortable, like the swing away tailstock and the movable power, not a big deal, but important to have room in front of your lathe to get right up to it and at the right height that you work at. So that's important to me. The floor where my space is got to be comfortable. One of the things that makes this room, and maybe I'll go here. One of the things that makes this room comfortable, and this is, you get an overview of my whole tech. I'll pull this green sheet up in a minute here. Is I don't know if you can hear it. You probably can't hear it because my mic is pretty good. Up in the wall there behind the green is a mini split AC. So it's, I don't know, close to 89, 90 degrees outside. It'll be 100 here soon in Texas. But in the shop here, I can keep it, if it's 100 outside, I can keep it about 78, which is a far cry better than what I used to have. So I put this in probably 6-8 years ago. I should have put it in 20 years ago. So if you have a dedicated workshop where your weather conditions don't allow you to get out there full time, change that. If you're in cold temperature, you need a heater out there, put a heater out there. If you're in hot temperatures, need an AC, put an AC out there, because it's going to make a world of difference, not only your comfort level, but in your tools comfort level. Before I had the AC, there was so much humidity in the air, I'd get surface rust on this is stainless steel, but on my cast iron tools, all my tools, they'd be rusted over in 2 weeks if I didn't come out and, maintain things. And so it's worse as you go further south to the seaside or East Coast or anywhere on the coastline. You're going to have all those rust issues. So an AC will help dehydrate or dehumidify your space. So that was the one big plus I didn't even think about in cooling the space, is the dehumidification. So that helps a lot. If you're in a dry spot like Cindy is in Erie, Colorado, maybe not be a consideration, but you may need to add some humidity to cut down on the static electricity or whatever you may have. So, but for wood turning, dry areas are pretty good, and so not a bad thing to do. So I've got some shortcuts. So let's see. What does this one do? That's my headshot, so I'll get to talk to you. So, but I'll step out of the way a little bit, and I'm going to pull this green screen up. We'll take it out of the way. There we go. All right. So on the wall back there, you can see I've got a pegboard with some sanding material, and I've got a plywood board with all my chucks and other accessories that I'd want to use. So I have them handy here: calipers, tape, jaws, chucks, more tape, LEO drives, things up here you can't quite see in the picture, but there we go. So some tool rests here, but recently I actually put tool rests down here. You can't quite see them; they're kind of back here. I got some holes, and there's a piece of wood back here that is kind of acting like a shelf for a number of things. So the other thing to look here is dust collection. So I've got a hose here that splits. One travels around the back of the lathe and comes out. Let's see, wrong way. out here. So, and I have that getting attached to the lathe. I'm working on a system. I've got this heavy duty magnet with this. Let me get this out of the way. With this sort of swivel head. This actually was one of my old camera mounts years ago before I went to hardcore stuff. And I've got a magnet on the inside of this guy, so this will just mount right up there and stick there. So I can move this anywhere I want it along the banjo. Move that, swivel that up, and I can get it exactly where I want. So it's not ideal, but it's working pretty good for now. Pretty heavy-duty magnets to hold it on there. I need a bit more length of hose, I think, here, but having dust collection come this way, back around this way to the dust collector that's back there. So I should look this way, back there. So when the green screen is down, I don't really see or hear any of the, well, I hear the dust collector. We can turn it on. This is the other convenient thing. Nice little remote. Turns on the dust collector. You can probably hear that now. So that is on a magnet hanging off my headstock there. So magnets are another convenient comfort thing. So I got magnets all over the place holding Allen keys and rulers, pencils, that kind of stuff. The other part of the dust collection, I have a hose dropping to the floor. And I don't know if that's, is it that one? Well, sort of, maybe that one. So as it goes to the floor, it changes from a 4-inch hose down to a 2-inch hose. And now I've got a vacuum that I can use to vacuum up, right? So this will reach over on the lathe bed, and sitting in the corner is an old wand for a, I think it's an old shop vac I had. It's somewhere in the shed, but this is great for cleaning up chips on the floor. Also got a broom in the corner. And so all this stuff is nice and close by. This just I lay on the floor, coil it up underneath the toolbox. Dustpan close at hand. So I've been pretty diligent about, let's do a headshot here. Diligent about cleaning up after each turning session. I think it just makes it more comfortable to come out here. Trust me, my shop is a mess, right? I don't know what I got up here. I got to look at that stuff, and I've got mess all over the place. But having things close at hand in your work area and making your work area clean every time really is helpful. So let's see. Just going back up through the chat. Let's see, there's a good question. I'm just going to star some of these questions and I'll get to them in a second. That one. That one. Sorry, got a few here. It's good to have these things. That's a question. That's a good question. So, sorry, I'm just I think I'm caught up on those. Yeah. Okay. So let me attack some of those questions. I'll go up to the top, and we'll look at those questions first. So, sorry about the delay. I had to mouse around a little bit. Robert's question on carbide tools versus high-speed steel tools. So I think you use the tools. This is another comfort thing that you're most comfortable in using that will make you happy at the lathe, right? So that's number one. This is a fun hobby. It's not meant to be stressful. It's meant to be relieving stress for the most part, unless you're a professional turner where you're, you know, production turner turning stuff out. Then it's a job. I've sort of sidestepped the turning part as my job, and started selling tools as my job, and then doing this kind of stuff. So I still have fun at the lathe, and don't consider it a job. So use the tools that you're comfortable with. For me, I started off using high-speed steel tools. I never really started using carbide. They weren't really out in the early 2000s. I think I started turning 2001. There are scrapers. I have some scrapers I use, high-speed steel, regular tool scrapers. I've used and sold carbide tools in the past. That's a whole story. You can read about that on the website. But so they have their place. I think they're great for certain projects, certain functions. But I really encourage you, as you get deeper into the hobby and you're being limited by what your carbide tools can do, to look at turning tools, traditional turning tools like spindle gouges, bowl gouges, skews, and those kind of things. So tomorrow is going to be a good session for that. We'll look at some of these basic tools we're going to use. It's really spindle roughing gouge, spindle gouge, skew, and maybe a bowl gouge, and some parting tools. That's really going to be about it. I don't think I may use some scrapers, and I'll use another tool or two that kind of introduce you to some other tools for doing certain things. But I would encourage you to keep turning however you want to turn. And my ultimate philosophy is carbide tools will never get you to the finished surface of good tool control with a high-speed steel tool. You'll never get a spindle as smooth with a carbide tool as you can with a skew. You'll never be able to get a bowl inside as smooth as you can with a turning tool. Scrapers are a different thing. You can use a high-speed steel scraper. If you got negative rate carbide, that would probably help a lot for some of those fine, refined scraping cuts. You'll never get fine detail. If you want to roll a bead or several beads, you want to do nice coves, fillets, beads, and that kind of stuff. Really fine detail, you'll never get there with carbide. So take a look and keep turning, whatever it is. So that's my rule. The other thing, high-speed steel, I can sharpen them all day long on a grinder, and I've got tools that are 20 years old. I still not through. So carbide replacing cutters can be expensive. So good question. Thank you for that, Robert. And if you got follow-up questions, please throw them in there. And if there's something I said that you didn't understand or don't agree with, let me know, as well as others. If you don't agree with what I said, let me know. So let's see, where'd that next question go? Steve Thomas, and thanks for joining, Steve. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Say hi to Ann for us. How are you holding the board on the tailstock? Oh, yeah. So this little guy right here, magnets, my friend. So this is a little trackpad I use. It's one of these Mac trackpads. I cracked it. I broke it about a month ago. But this little board here is just stuck on with magnets. So there's a big heavy-duty rare earth magnet here. It's got about a 30-pound pull. So it comes off. On this side, there's a couple of magnets. I've figured out that just by playing around with the backside of my trackpad where it likes to grip on those magnets. So if I hold this upside down, it's not strong enough to hold it by itself, but it's strong enough to hold it from slipping on a slope like that. So and stuff. So that just is, and there's a block here that just goes around the round. Let me just remove. Oh, I got my trackpad in my hand. Goes around the round part of this, so I can have it angled. How did I do that again? I can have it angled or just rotate it, and I can move it along whichever part of that tool rest I want, or the tailstock I want. So magnets are your best friend around the lathe. On the back side here, if I show here, I've got 3 more magnets here to hold if I wanted to hold this plan or instruction sheet there it goes there. I just got some wood turning tool store magnets too, so kind of handy. So, and then along, I won't put that there, they'll be in the way. Along here, magnets. Let's see if I can crank that down a little bit. I got a magnet on the back of the pencil, magnet in the back of the little knife. I got a magnet on the lathe holding the ruler. Magnets over here, Allen screw, Allen keys of all kinds. Magnet over here holding my hones on the other side of the magnetized control box. Magnet holding a key, a chuck key. And then magnet holding my dust collection remote. All kinds of magnets all over the place. Even got a magnet holding my controller for my zoom and whatever overhead, the overhead camera. So this guy sits there and it controls this this guy. It's not working completely right now. There's focus control, and so magnets all over the place. So good question. They're also all over my here. I got a stack of magnets over here, tons of magnets, extra spares, magnets all over the place. I've got magnets on, I think this wall. Over here, magnets holding a wrench, magnet picker up sticker. This is important. Get one of these. You can pick up stuff off the floor. So that's that I think is an important tool. Everyone should have one of those. Just magnets holding things all over the place. So magnets are your friend for sure. Let's see. Good question. Thank you, Steve. David has a comment. WeatherTech makes great flooring mats. It has made a huge difference for me as a comfort and not being sore the next day. Yeah, and I have some of those, not WeatherTech, but they're kind of similar. These kind of things, these sort of foam boards that interlock together. This is about 2 foot square. And I've got several of those on workstations. So in front of me on the other side is my main grinding station and stuff. So I encourage you, get something where you can be comfortable. If you're on a wooden floor, all the better, but your lathe needs to be secure. So that helps. Let's see. Dave Palata asks, interesting comment on spindle height above elbow. Most say elbow height. I have a Powermatic 3520C that has adjustable feet. I'm going to move per your recommendations and see how that works. Yeah, so my Powermatic, I wonder if I can even see it there. So here's a shot I'm going to show. I might as well show now. Let me move this out of the way. Comment. So if you can see, let me, I got to do one thing here so I can kind of see what what you guys are looking at. If you look right down there, that's the foot on my Powermatic. I don't know if you can see closely, there's 2 stacks of 2x4s underneath that Powermatic to lift it up. So I'm lifting that Powermatic already 1.5, 3, and another inch, so 4 inches, and it's still not high enough. So yeah, I would need to raise that up another 4 inches to get to the height of my robust here. So, but this is another kind of view of the shop. This side of the shop that is right next to my lathe is right here. You can't see it in the picture, but this is the end of the lathe. And so just off the end of the lathe, a couple steps away is my grinder. So I can come over from the lathe and be at the grinder in 3 steps. So what I want is, I'll kind of look low, but what I want is something that's close to where I'm working, that I have everything with. And so this is the other couple of things I have. This one and this one. Shop carts that help me be mobile and move things around. So when I'm demonstrating, this guy with all the materials kind of sits here. And so I have materials ready at hand, spindles. This is all the material for tomorrow's demo, for the, what are those things called? Honey dippers. I lose my mind. Honey dipper material. I've got blanks for these punch pommels. So those will be what I'm looking at. Let me just make sure everything's in focus here. Yeah, this is a pretty good focus. So this is what we'll make tomorrow. So we'll make a punch pommel. It's an auto punch, and it usually doesn't have this wooden handle, but it just makes them sit nice in the hand. So that material, our little goblet or a little shot glass material. Here's what you can get to next. If you do a regular small shot glass, you get a nice big drinking flask. Material for the scoop and material for the bud vase and other stuff there. Of course, my phone and my tea and stuff. So having this close at hand is nice, and that usually just resides back here when I'm not really using it. Inside, though, this one is pretty much all tech. So I've got extra remotes, cable ties, zip ties, lens covers, instruction manuals for all my tech stuff that's over there. Down below is pretty much more tech, HDMI cables, USB cables, all the grip gear I need, and a few extras like that. So this is really all sort of tech stuff that really doesn't have anything to do with turning, but has a lot to do with what I'm able to do for you folks. This one is the main one that holds tools. And so all my tools I need for the demo are laid out here with the handles, all the supplies I need, sanding blocks, sandpaper, finishes, and any sort of measurement tools I might need, that kind of stuff. And in this one is all my sharpening gear. So I've got my True Grind tool holder here that I use, my hones, setup gauges, the bandsaw companion thing, bench brush, Sharpies, need those, pencils, bevel measuring tools, those kind of things, a few other things, miscellaneous stuff. So that's all in here. And then down below here, this is project material. So this is where if I'm doing a certain project, I will keep sort of a tray of material. So this tray has all the bottle stopper stuff and a few other things. So this is where the Niles bottle stopper jig is, I believe. All the bottle stoppers, stuff I have, all the blanks, board trays that kind of keep everything sort of housed. Miscellaneous sort of material. There's the jig actually and stuff like that. So so that's all sort of project-related materials that I'm doing. So, and then as I'm sharpening, this wheel's over here. I take my tools and I'm here sharpening my tools. I lay it out, do all the same type of tool at the same time. And then when I'm done sharpening, this wheel's over right to the end of the lathe. And so when I'm back here, those tools are right here, easy to reach. So that's that for me is making myself comfortable, getting tools exactly where I need them to be, by rolling this bench around to where I need it. So, and the other one as well. So that is my setup there. Let me change this back so I can see everything here. Still talking good. All right, means my mic is still working. So so that was a good one. Yeah, let us know how it goes, Dave, when you adjust the spindle height on your lathe and jack it up. So mine was a 3520B, and let's see. Gene said, "Is it advisable to wet or sort of dry wet turn projects in microwave?" Yeah, I mean, I think so. I haven't done a lot of it. I do have. Can you see it in the shot back there? No, it's kind of right, that black box right there, I think is the microwave. So I got a little microwave back there. It's behind my bandsaw here. but it's around the other aisle behind this cabinet here. We'll show this cabinet here in a second. I've been watching a lot of Richard Raffin's videos lately. It seems like he's putting one once a week or thereabouts. And a lot of stuff he's turning these in his retired years is projects he turns thin and then will put them in the microwave. So he turns wet and then puts them in the microwave to let them warp the way they're going to warp. Sort of an artistic expression of how it's meant to be once it's dried out. So it's a quicker way to get there, and sometimes you can get some fascinating sort of structures. So I think he you'd only want to zap it in the microwave for like 30 seconds on high. Bring it out. It's going to be very hot to the touch, so wear gloves. And if it's still wet, put it back in. Let it cool down a little bit. Let stresses relieve. Go back in. Do a bunch of little in and outs at the microwave. That's what he's recommended. What he's done. Has anybody else done microwave drying? If you have, throw it in the comment. Give your experiences. So that would be great. So, is it advisable? Sure, try it. Why not? I wouldn't do a solid piece. I would do it after you turn. So I don't think you can dry. I don't really know. I don't really know if you can dry. It depends on the size of your microwave, but I would do it after you wet turn. It's much funner to wet turn than dry turn. So that'd be my suggestion. Steve, yeah, good. You're attending tomorrow. Is it going to be recorded? Yes, absolutely. It's going to be recorded, and you'll have the replay available for 6 months. So that's the bonus thing about these things. Even this live stream, which is happening now and stuff, and it's not really a full demo. These are all recorded. So if let me show. Oh, you know what I should do? I haven't done yet. How many people we got on here? 61. I should do this now. I almost forgot about this raffle today. So I know my comment box is going to get stuffed with these. Again, we did this 2 weeks ago. We're going to do it again. We're going to give away 2 tickets today. Pound SSST in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or StreamYard or wherever you are. Throw that in the comment, and you'll be entered into a drawing. And I have to set up a couple of things. So share screen giveaway. I need to get that in here. And then I wanted to switch to this one. Yeah, this one. This is the website. So how do I get there now? Yeah, I have to do this. Not quite as smooth as I'm hoping, but if you're on the website and you go to explore Woodturning, oops, I pushed that. That's fine. You can either click on the title and it'll bring you all this menu. If you look in here, you will find live stream. So under the menu, it is live stream, all things Woodturning. So this is where, if you're watching, you can actually watch on the website. Click here and register, your name and stuff like that, and watch it here. All the past ones are here. So this is the one from 2 weeks ago, and boy, this just goes on and on. Burr Oak, the solar eclipse, all these things in here. So there's tons here. Hone or out to hone, spindle gouge. All these go back like 2-3 years. So if you look at the little thing here, there is just a boatload of them here. I don't know how much I can scroll down on this guy. You can see there's just a bunch there. Anyway, so go to your to the website, Explore Woodturning live stream, and you'll find all the past live streams. If you've ever been to a demo, if you go to personal remote demos, this is where you'll find the replays of all the past PRDs I've done. So ring presentation box, bowl turning, the encaustic wax one, turning a pair of candlesticks. These ones are for rent now. So I do have rentals. If you go to video rentals, you'll find all the rentals there as well. So you can go, and these are all all past demos that were ticketed, and you can find those. So there's lots of resources on the website. Just take a look at those, and yeah. So let's see how many have entered the raffle. Looks like a lot, so that's good. Let me see the last question I had. Oops. So Steve, yeah, that'll be recorded tomorrow. James says, I put race deck flooring in my shop. It's a game changer. Another type of flooring, I guess. So yeah, all kinds of things to do. We had an extra one of these, and it fit right in front of the lathe, and that works great for me. The other thing I do, and about every couple of weeks, maybe every couple of months actually, is number one. Oh, you can see the mini split right up here, right in the corner. So that's the AC that's pumping in nice cool air. There's the dust collector. It's a Penn State. I've had that thing for 20 plus years. It's still going. It's 1.5 horsepower. I need a bit larger machine, but right now it just won't fit. And so let me take that banner down. Can I do that here? Don't know. All right. We'll revisit that. We'll do this drawing here in about 10 minutes or so. So last thing to kind of show from my shop perspective is the tool chest behind me. So let me see if I've got this set up correctly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here's the tool drawer. Up here in the upper half, you can't really see. Here is mechanical tools, so drills, drill bits, chucks, and forstner bits, all kinds of drill bits and stuff in here. This one is miscellaneous mechanical, electrical stuff. And this is all wrenches, whether it's crescent wrench, pliers, sockets, that kind of stuff. So mostly mechanical stuff up here. This is hex wrenches and other small wrenches. This is all screwdrivers there. And then this is writing instruments, knives, so knives, pencils, pen and pencils, erasers, and a couple of flashlights. So, and then this is just storage of things. I don't know what's in there. So that's just the way it goes. And then the bottom half is all turning. So this is where most all of my turning tools are. So all the gouges and stuff like that are all in here. All of these gouges that are on the bench over there those will fit in here as well, along with all the handles. And so those go in the drawer here. There's some miscellaneous small parts for hollowing tools and other miscellaneous sort of small parts. These medicine containers, these little pill bottles, fantastic for that kind of stuff. So I've got one for hook tools and scraper bits, and the Lyle Jameson hollowing swivel cutters are in those. So we keep those and stuff. I got plenty of them in here. And then the smaller drawer here is all the handled systems. So this is all unhandled for the most part. I do have a very large handled bowl gouge in this drawer that doesn't fit anywhere else. But otherwise, it's all handleless tools that go with my modular handle system. So those are all in here. And then this is all handled stuff that I still use, as well as a small saw, hand saw, and stuff like that is very commonly used. Measuring and marking tools, so all the calipers, rulers, squares, compasses, dividers, all that kind of stuff is in here. And then this is kind of woodworking down here. So there's chisels, scrapers, and a few extra handles I don't use much anymore. And then hand planes. This woodworking hand planes and hand saws and some honing material left over from my woodworking days. And then sandpaper. This is all sanding supplies, sandpaper and abrasives and miscellaneous tools and handmade tools for abrasives. So, sticks with foam and sandpaper wrapped around them and that kind of stuff. So this side is all live centers, drive centers, collets, and extension rods for different things. Can you see that? You can just barely see that in the picture. This is texturing tools. So the spiraling tool, the elf tool, the little wires, burning wires, and some rubber chucky material stuff in there. And then this is finishing supplies typically, so waxes and friction polishes and a few miscellaneous things. So all of this is nice, close at hand, and shut behind me so that we can reach it very quickly when we need it. So in your workspace, if you're able to create, a U-shaped workspace where you can get to everything, then that kind of works for you. The other thing is my bandsaw here is on wheels, so it rolls around and can roll out. I put it back there to get it in front of the green screen that's going to come down in front of those. So that's kind of my shot. Let me put that back up. I might as well leave it open this way. And I'm going to change something over. Yeah, where am I at? There we go. All right, next question. So good questions there. Let me put that banner back up while I'm here. Raffle today. There we go. So if you're just joined or are here, do that. Just scrolling through. Good question. Good idea, Charlie. Wouldn't it be easier to just magnetize my lathe? It's funny. You say that. I've got one tool, this Carter & Son tool, that is heavily magnetized now. I don't know why, but it's pretty much a magnet itself, so it can almost hold, holds a ruler. So I don't know how it got magnetized, but it's kind of a pain sometimes. I have to get a demagnetizer and do that someday. Maybe just heat it up. Philip, glad you could join. So thank you for joining. We're just kind of going through a shop tour and comfort things. In light of what's going to happen tomorrow, my demo. So let's see. Cindy, I'll be doing my first club demo tomorrow. Oh, nice. Robert said, good job. Good stuff, Robert. Well done. Just scrolling down. Let's see. Tony asked, what is the bandsaw companion? That's a good question. And what I would suggest is, where is it? I think if you're on, Tony's on Facebook. So I think if you go to my YouTube channel, there is do I have that? Let's do this and then this. So if we go, I don't know if it's in my under Explorer Woodturning, I have a bunch of, I don't know if it's going to be in here. I think you have to go to my YouTube channel. So you can get to my YouTube channel by clicking these buttons right at the top of the screen. Am I sharing that? I'm not sharing that. Sorry, folks. There we go. So at the top here, you got I think that's the YouTube one. There you go. So if you look at my YouTube channel, one of the first things you'll see, maybe I'll just go to videos. Be easier to sort them here. Look at that. There's a whole video on the bandsaw companion, Tony. So this was taken from a live stream that was last year sometime. I think about a year ago. So that'll tell you. But basically, it is, and let me go back here. It's kind of a 3-in-1 tool. It's a ruler. It's a stop ruler. It's a circle marking jig. I actually use it quite a bit for circle marking. So it's got a little pivot pin here. And I wonder if I show overhead, if that would show whether that's in focus. It's going to be in focus down here, unfortunately. Oh, my focus works, so I can get it. No, there we go. Maybe this will be in focus. I just broke it. It's right on the, I think. I don't know what it did. There we go. Anyway, it's essentially a ruler, but it's got this pin in it right there. It's hard to see. That is removable from this spot to this spot, and then you can use it as a pivot point to mark out circles. But the bandsaw part of it is there's magnets here. There's a relief here for the set of the bandsaw. So I wonder if I would be able to just, no, it's not in the picture. This one, not in the picture. No, I can't show it right now, but watch the video. This little set goes in the set of the teeth, and so this will point in the direction of the bandsaw drift, and then you can use your adjustments on your bandsaw to change the drift so it's parallel to the slot. If you have a slot in your T slot in your what's it called, miter slot in your bandsaw. So, or in your table. So it's for tuning up your drift on your blade and stuff. So let's see. I lost my mouse. There it is. Rick asks, what is the platform on your grinder? So that is a Stuart Batty platform. Oops, yeah, I showed it there. There it is, just above your name, Rick, on the screen. So it is a Stuart Batty platform. I find I like it that it pivots right next to the wheel, but this is the woodcut grinding system on this side that I use with this tool holder. So this has been fantastic for me to use. It's a good combination I like at this point, but Woodcut makes a grinding system. The tool holder is fantastic, and they do have a platform and stuff like that. I just don't have it hooked up here. And I have another one back there. I'm not going to show. I haven't tried it out yet. I do like trying new tools as well. So good question. I think we're about ready for the drawing. So let's do that. And I'll finish up on these comments. So let me remove that. And I wonder, is this one? Oh, add that. There we go. Let's use this one, and then we'll put me there. So we have a few entries. I don't know how many yet. I can't see. 38. We need more people to add pound SSST. There we go. Everybody's got it right. I'm looking at it. Yeah. I'm just looking through all the comments, make sure everybody's got it right. Okay, Pete, you got to put a pound sign in front of it, Pete. It's got to have pound SSST. I think the case is going to be fine. You might try the capital letters as it's shown on the screen. So try that again. Yes, that's a good question. I got some questions highlighting here. I'll highlight that one. Okay, well, yeah, sorry, that's another good one. I didn't mention those. Okay, I think I think everybody's got it. Pete, good job. You got it in there. Well done. And oh, Tim, good to have you here. Thank you. Thanks for joining. So let me let's go ahead and do the drawing now. We're gonna get 2 tickets to tomorrow's demo. Tomorrow, the demo is, if I show, oh, it's in the little box there. Several simple spindle turnings and building confidence at the lathe. So that'll be tomorrow at noon. So I hope you can join me there. And let me switch that back to me. Switch this back to this. And let me turn that banner off. And then ready for drawing. So we've got 43. Here's the first one. Good luck, everybody. And the first winner is Ken War, or War, I guess. So Ken, congratulations. You're watching on StreamYard, so I should have your email. Congratulations. You'll get that in email today. I'll set you up for a ticket. So good stuff. Let's draw the next one and make sure everybody gets in there. So draw again. And here we go. Second ticket going. So I've got a few more questions after this, so stick around. We'll answer those questions. Gary Egbert. Gary, congratulations. So those 2 winners will get a ticket to tomorrow's demonstration. They'll at least get, if they can't make it in person, they'll have the replay for 6 months on that guy. So well done, you two. Thank you. And hopefully somebody put that in the chat. Otherwise, I can watch the replay and see who won. So good stuff. Okay, so I've got some comments to catch up on. A few people brought up something I neglected to talk about, which is good. Let's see, did I miss? The comment on microwaving. Okay, that's a good thing. Put it in a paper bag filled with shavings for 1 minute blasts. Was it more than one 1 minute blast, Ronald? Probably, I'd imagine, but waiting until it fully dries. So that's a good hint. Having the shavings in there, maybe that helps. Pete, I have microwaved several pieces, all very wet, but turned thin, or it is prone to crack. Turn vessels and bowls. Yeah, so good to know, Pete. And that's what I would suggest: turning them thin and then drying them in the microwave and watching them warp. And I understand that Madrone is very, very classically warp prone. So good things. And then there is, you don't want the wood to dry too quickly, being hot. Yes, okay, good. And yes, Lou and another person down below is right. One thing has been mentioned is lung safety. I use a big safety cap as a change. Yeah, absolutely. So safety is important. Hanging on my wall over here is my safety glasses. So if I'm not wearing my face shield, I'm wearing those. My face shield is here. So I've got a full face shield that I wear as well. I use those when I'm teaching turning and stuff like that. But you're right. For the most times, I am using my powered respirator face shield. So this has been put to a lot of use in the last couple of weeks. I've been turning some curly maple. May have noticed on my Instagram or Facebook page, I've been turning some stuff. So this is a great thing. Batteries in the back here. Turns it on. You can hear the motor blowing. And so that I wear whenever I'm in the shop, not filming, not doing stuff with you guys. So absolutely safe to make sure you wear something like that. Also, when I'm doing a lot of grinding, I have gloves. These ones are kind of nice. They're cheap, but they've got this rubber coating, so it stops the. They're actually cut level A1. They abate the heat. I do grind all my little teardrop cutters by hand, and so my fingers are on the hot metal a lot of times, and those really help, and around sharp edge as well. But whenever I'm grinding, I also wear a face respirator because the grinding dust is probably worse for you than wood dust. But I don't know that for sure, but none of it's good for you. So use a face mask to protect your lungs, whether it's wood or grinding. I suggest you wear safety glasses and a lung protector when you're grinding, if you're grinding lots. So in a session, when I'm setting up for a turning session, I'll put that on and grind, and certainly do it when I'm production grinding. So good stuff. Let's see. So John is going to the AW Symposium all the way from Alaska. So that's a bit of a travel, but I suppose it's Portland's closer than any other destination for you, John. Yes, bottle of scotch would be good. I love Bowmore. I'm not going to be there, unfortunately, but Cindy will for a day or two. So yeah, have fun. Symposium happens actually next weekend. So right after the sharing session Friday, Cindy flies out to Portland. So it's kind of unfortunate timing. The sharing session's right then, but she's okay with it. But she'll be flying right out after that. So yes, and this is the other Todd mentioned about the face shield. I forgot to mention those kind of things. The other thing too is if you're not comfortable getting wood shavings on your arms, wear a smock of some sort. Some woods do itch, like walnut. I think I get a little itchy with walnut myself. So important to protect yourself that way as well. But I think that's got it. These flies are starting to really bug me. Just scrolling down. Oh yeah, thank you, Cindy. The IRD tomorrow, and beyond that, there's it is again. Thank you. So I appreciate you guys joining me on this little non-turning session, unfortunately, but I'm glad to share some of this stuff. This is a good precursor to tomorrow's session, where we're doing small spindle turnings, getting comfortable with the lathe, and so I think what I said in one of my emails is that in order to be comfortable at the lathe, at some point you had to be uncomfortable. So if you feel uncomfortable, make a note of it and say, how do I make that more comfortable for me? So for me, the floor mat was important. The lathe height was important. Having tools around me was important. All of this kind of relieves a little bit of anxiety as I get to the lathe. When we talk about tool presentation and anxiety there, we'll talk more about that tomorrow and what we can do to alleviate that. So hope to see you there. Thanks for joining today. And my throat is a little parched, so I'm going to get some water and go inside, cool down a little bit. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope to see many of you tomorrow. So please do sign up. You'll get an email right after this, I believe, if you're on my email list, asking you again. Sorry for the email blast this week, but I really want to make sure the word is out. Take care. Have a great weekend, and be kind, everyone. And we'll see you later. Just in time, the lawnmower guys are outside. So, all right. We'll see you guys later. You take care now.